Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Zulfa, and this is our first lecture in this course, in which we will study drama. First of all, I want to remind you that drama is one of the literary genres. You studied literary genres or literary types in prose, novel, and short stories, and also you studied literary genre in poetry, which is written in verse. Now, novels and short stories or prose are written in a narrative way in paragraphs and sentences like articles. Okay, but poetry is written in verse. Okay, now drama is a literary genre which is written in both verse and prose. Okay. Now let's define drama, and I want you to see how drama is different from other types or other literary genres. You have to think with me and you give me the answer, and to take notes how drama is different from, I want you to answer the question, how drama is different from other genres or other literary genres. What is drama? Drama, here one of the definitions of drama is an imitation of an action, doing something. So drama is mainly, it is a type of action. You do something. It is a branch of literature which is both literary art and representational art. Literary art, which is written as a form of art, and representational, which is acted in a way or another. As a literary art, it deals with fiction, which is expressing feelings, or imaginary story that is presented through characters and dialogue. Now, its content is an imaginary story or fiction, something that expresses feelings, okay, but it is represented on the stage by characters and dialogue. It is written to be watched, not to be read or listened to. However, it is a special kind of fiction because it is designed to be acted out rather than narrated or read. So it's written to be watched, to be acted on the stage by characters who say something, who use the dialogue to express their ideas, but it's not written to be narrated, listened to, or read. Another definition of drama. Drama is a composition in verse or prose. This is another characteristics. It is written in verse or prose, intended to be to portray life or character, or tell a story usually involving conflicts and emotions through action and dialogue, and typically designed for theatrical performance. This is Webster's dictionary definition, and I like this definition because let's go together and analyze it. Drama is a composition, something composed in verse or prose. This is the first characteristics. It is written in both verse and prose. It is intended to portray life or character. Okay, it draws images or shows images of life or characters, or tell a story usually involving what? There should be a conflict, a type of conflict or many types of conflicts in the play. Maybe the main character with itself, the characters with society, the character with against character. So there should be types of conflicts. Otherwise, it is not a literary genre. All types of literary genre should have conflicts. And emotion, so usually involving conflicts and emotions through actions and dialogue. So action, dialogue, verse, prose, conflicts, all are these together components of a play, and typically designed for theatrical performance. It should be performed on theater. I think, in my opinion, this is the best definition for drama because it includes all the characteristics of drama. Also, another definition of drama: a drama is a composition designed for performance in theater. Again, performance, action, in which actors take the roles of characters. They portray the life of characters, perform the indicated action, and utter the written dialogue. Perform, do the action, and say the dialogue. Okay, so if I ask you now, what is drama? Think for 1 minute and tell me what is drama. Okay, the word drama, what is the origin of the word drama? The word drama comes from the Greek verb dram, which means to do or to act. Again, we go, drama is action. Now, what are the types of drama? We have two main types of drama. Main types, I said, there are sub-drives. Okay, under each one of these types, there are sub-drives. But here, subtypes, okay? Here we want to see the two main types, which is tragedy and comedy. What do you mean by tragedy? A tragedy is something ends sadly. You know it from your life, this word. Shows downfall or death of a tragic hero or main character. In a tragedy, the main character, the protagonist, the hero makes something wrong and dies as a result. It ends sadly. Generally, it shows the death of the hero. In ancient Greek plays, the hero was a good person brought down by a tragic flaw or defect in character. Now, a tragedia or tragic plays in the past used to select the heroes as noble people of great classes or people who have very good traits, okay, but they do something wrong, or they have defect in their characters which lead them to downfall. At the end, they come to a very bad end, and they may die, not only die, but they do something wrong, and they are not loved or respected from people. In modern plays, the hero can be a normal person destroyed by an evil in the society. In both old and modern, there is destruction of the hero. Okay, but the destruction of the hero in the old Greek plays, it is by the fault or it is by a fault or an error or a defect in the character of the hero. But in the modern play, a hero is not a noble one or from a high class. He's not a prince or a queen or a king, but he's a normal person from the normal level of society, but he is destroyed by an evil in the society. It is destruction, but not in the same way like the old or the ancient Greek plays. Comedy often shows a conflict between opposite age groups, genders, or personality, but typically comedies involve confusion. There is confusion, conflict, jokes, but it ends happily. This is the main difference between comedy and tragedy. Also, we want to talk about tragedy. Tragedy is a play that ends unhappily. Most classic Greek tragedies deal with the topics of tragedies. Topics dis- discussed by tragedies. The topics discussed by tragedies are serious ones, universal themes such as right and wrong, justice and injustice, life and death. Okay? Tragic flow also it discusses tragic flows, human limitations against the larger forces of destiny. Here, this is something important, as if something related to beliefs and religions. Human limitations. We are limited in our power, in our abilities as human beings. We are limited. We cannot do everything. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Okay, human limitation against the larger forces of destiny. I don't say the larger forces here. I say human. I want to express it in my own words as a Muslim that people should know that they have limited power and limited abilities, and we are all controlled by destiny, which is decided by the mighty Allah. Okay? Tragedy, in tragedy, the protagonist السلام عليكم. يلا الحمد لله بالسلامة، يلا بالسلامة. فطلع منيح، يلا بدي أفطر معكم. الله يرضى عليك، الله يرضى عليك، الله يرضى عليك حبيبتي، حبيبتي. والله يلا معلش يعطيكم العافية، معلش أجي معاكم. مع السلامة، مع السلامة. In a tragedy, the protagonist of the most classical tragedies is a tragic hero. Tragedy The protagonist of the most classical tragedies is a tragic hero. This hero is noble in many ways and admirable, but he has a tragic flaw, a tragic error, a tragic fault, or a defect in his character, like pride. He is very proud of himself. rebelliousness, jealousy, or a personal failing that leads to tragic end. So these are the characters of the protagonist or the hero of a tragedy. But although he is noble, he is from a high class, he has good traits, he has also bad traits, or he does something wrong that it leads to its tragic or sad end. Comedy. How is it different from tragedy? A comedy is a play that ends happily. This is the main character of a comedy. It is a play that ends happily. The plot usually centers on a romantic conflict. Romantic conflict is related to love among people. Love stories which face troubles, romantic conflict. Okay, there is love, but there is conflict. For example, a boy meets a girl, a boy loses a girl, a boy wins a girl. Still, there is conflict in these stories, maybe between the girl and the boy. Maybe the girl wants the boy and the boy does not want the girl. Maybe or the opposite. A boy wins a girl and he struggles against someone else and he wins the girl, and so on. So there are love stories which contain conflict. Okay, the main character in a comedy could be anyone, noble town people or servants. Okay, so it shouldn't be a nobleman like the tragedy. It can be anyone, a nobleman or a servant. Comic application always occur before the conflict is resolved. Now, during the plot you find comic actions which make people laugh. In most cases, the play ends with wedding. Okay. While a tragedy ends with death, a comedy ends with wedding in most cases. The dialogue. The dialogue is what characters say, and it is used to reveal their personalities, character traits. From the dialogue, you can understand people. Now, when someone speaks politely and he speaks nice to people and he say helpful words, you know that this is a respectable one. At least what you see or what you listen to. When someone shouts and says bad words and he's rude, you know that this one is an impolite one. You know what's a lot about his character. So dialogue shows the traits of characters. The name of the character who is to speak. How to write it? How to write when you write a comedy? The names of the character who is to speak is listed usually in bold at the start of a line followed by colon. Like, for example, you say Macbeth. Macbeth wants to speak. Now Macbeth, and you put the colon and he speaks. Every time the speaker changes a new line, every time when the speaker changes from Macbeth, we say Macbeth speaks, so says so and so and so. Then Lady Macbeth wants to talk, so another line starts, and the name of Lady Macbeth is written in bold, and a colon after it, then what she wants to say is written. Dialogue is necessary in order to develop conflict and advance the plot. Dialogue is the most important part. Without the dialogue, okay, sometimes some plays are done only in action, and you have to understand what's the meaning of action, but also dialogue is very, very important to develop the conflict in a play. Look at this example here, how are plays written. It is copied from your own book, the book I dropped on the senior page about Macbeth. Yeah, okay. Now here you see a desert heath in Act 1, as you see how lines are written. The act is Act 1, the scene is Scene 1, a scene is a part of an act. Now, the view here, the view or the scenery, desert heath, a desert area, thunder and lightning, also thunder and lightning are heard on the stage. Enter three witches. Now the characters or the people are the three witches. The first witch, what does the first witch say? When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or rain. Now the second witch, also written in bold, colon, when hurly burly's done, when battles lost or won. The third witch, that will be the set of sun, at the set of sun. So you see the names are written in bold, and after the names of the characters there is a colon, then the dialogue starts. Okay. Set. What is the set and what is the sitting? As you see in the second line, sitting is the time and the place, or when and where the story takes place. Okay. Sets are the scenery, the view, the backdrops mean the backdrops, the drawings, or the back of the stage where actors play their roles, and these pictures or images are after them. For example, when I say it was a storm, the backdrop shows scenes of a storm, rain, wind. So this is the backdrop. And the furniture used to be acted on that create the setting. Okay. So maybe it is the sunset. It's dark. This is a part of the scenery and a part of the backdrops. Okay. Type. A production may have different sets for different scenes. For each scene, now the set, it means the situation where something or an action is acted. When, for example, there is a father and a mother and children are sitting together and telling a story or whatever, this is a scene which is different from another scene where children are fighting to each other, or someone is beating a neighbor or whatever. So different scenes has different have different settings, different time, different place, different view, different backdrops, and so on. However, we will watch a play and we will discuss these things in more details. You can see them. For example, some scenes may take place outside in a street. The place is a street, while others may take place in character's living room. The place in living room. Some scenes may take place during the day. This is the time. Now, while others may take place at night. So also this is change in time. All of this is sitting, and they change according to changeable scenes. Props, it means the tools used in the play, as you see in the picture: a telephone, a cake, dishes, cups, bicycle, motor bicycle, flowers, and so on. These are called props. How is a play divided? Actually, or general, particular audio plays are divided into 5 acts, and in each act there are scenes. There are scenes. As you see here, a play is largely divided into parts or acts. The number of acts in production can range from 1 to 5 acts, depending on how the writer structures the outline of the story. The length of time for an act to be performed can range from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. Open your book at page 8. This is a Roman number, and find how a play is divided. How a play is divided. You can see, you can find, and you describe it, how it is divided in the content page. Now, answer the following questions. What is a play? In what way a play is different? In what way is a play different? In what way is a play different from other genres, and so on? Okay. Thank you very much. Here are discussion questions. Try to answer them. Work in groups, and I'll give you a time on your pages, homework pages, to send them to me. But work in groups. You can work. It's okay. Work in groups of 3. Please work in groups of 3. I'll take all of you, all of the 3 students who work together will take the same mark. So I will not accept a single paper. You have to work in groups. Thank you.